created. Um, so for those of you that don't know, we are almost at 1 year. I mean, it's coming up. It's a couple months away, but we will soon be at 1 year for the spontaneous creation of CBD. Before it was even called CBD. Um, and on Tuesday's FAFO, Canessa was there with SRJH and I forget who else. Um, but the discussion, I mean, maybe some of you were there. Brandon, you might have been there. Um, but the discussion was around a commemorative wearable, and we were talking like a jacket um, that would mark the occasion for for that 1 year anniversary, right? Um, so what I wanted to do today when we talk about, making something for Blender is I actually wanted to go through like the creation process, or at least how I've done that professionally and just personally with my own art projects. Um, so I mean, it will be some of Blender. I've got Blender up so we can like monkey around with it, and we can just do specifically Blender stuff. Um, but yeah, I kind of not kind of. I also wanted to have a discussion, and this is by no means definitive, but let's have sort of an imagining of what that would look like, right? What does it mean? What is CBD? What it was when it first started as an idea? How could we embody that in a wearable that would represent the people that are members of this community? So I got my notebook. Well, my cat is on my notebook right now, so I don't have it right now, but very soon I will. Anyway, uh, yeah.
As soon as the cat's done, we understand.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I have, where is it? Here it is. Yeah, so I sort of abandoned this because I'm like, holy shit, I've only got like a couple weeks to get my shit together for Fashion Week, and I got a lot to do. Don't we all, right? But I was working on
Big
this. I
facts.
what's that? Facts, yeah.
Big
Um,
facts.
big facts. Uh, so instead of doing videos on how to do certain things, this is what I do as a teacher, right? I make a lot of slide decks, um, mostly for my middle schoolers, right? Because especially the last 3 years we were in COVID, and I would send it through Google Classroom and whatever. So I'd use Google Slides to make them, but just going through step by step and how to create a top. Um, like if we, where's my little present? Let's go full screen. Oh, fuck. I wish I hadn't done that. Control F5. Okay. Just kind of stepping through it so that people can go at their own speed. Like when we did the yesterday, the FAFO 16, and we worked on SDK 7. Um, we went through that documentation, and at the very beginning, Unknower was, being very helpful. So was Mariana, and we were just trying to work our way through the documentation. And the people that are responsible for building something don't necessarily know what it's like to be a brand new user experiencing it or learning it. Uh, so hold on, let me do this. Let me put this over here so you can read this. So yeah, this is another thing that I'm doing, and it'll be made available to the community. So I thought we could like start here, um, but yeah, I just wanted to. I'm done. I'm done talking. I'd like to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about that concept of?
Dude, I think that's a hugely overlooked point in a lot of aspects of like uh, every industry. Those that it's hard if first on the new user aspect, it's hard to ask questions that you don't know. First
Yep.
off,
Yep.
that's been a point of mine for a long time, going back to when I taught people basically how to do my job from way back.
Mhm.
Uh, Otherwise, if they didn't know, like, there's so many crucial aspects and so many scenarios of whatever it is you're doing, whether it's dangerous or not, could be critical failure
Mm.
without
Mhm.
realizing it. But first off, you like I said, you don't know the questions that you don't know that there are answers to.
Mhm.
So you don't really have, like, everybody points you to the donut tutorial at this point, which is a big mistake.
Yes. No. Thank you.
It's
Thank
a
you for
huge
saying that.
fucking mistake.
That is
Because
too
the donut
much.
the
That's
donut
like,
tutorial,
pardon me, sir. Could I have a sip of water? And then,
and
sure,
then
here's a
like,
fire
here's a
hose.
gallon of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Not even fucking wine or some shit. Like, you get fucking 3 tubs of mayonnaise dropped on your forehead. Like, it doesn't mix. Yeah. So it's a huge mistake that we need to kind of get away from, and a a huge like benefit to having the base models, what you're getting at in the beginning of the slide, is
Mhm.
already like a fucking vast majority of what somebody needs to begin.
Mhm.
Just having access to that particular information, like, hey, you can download this and this is what you can start working off of.
Mhm.
That's a benefit beyond what it took me a year to figure that out, Scott. It took
And
me a year.
I think this is a huge problem across the Web3 space in general,
Yep.
as far as like just learning blockchain and everything. So, yes.
Yeah,
Okay. All kinds
facts,
of
Yes.
yes.
facts. Brandon's in
Okay.
with your vodka.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
So,
I'm learning off the slides right now. Like I was learning, like I was telling the guys earlier when we were in the other chat. I'm learning JS Node, and I'm learning it off of slides. So yes.
okay, cool. Cool. Great. All right. Well, let's get started. We'll do a little bit of Blender, and then I kind of want to have an imagining session. Um, I'm just trying to think of, and full disclosure, I need to go pick up my, well, actually, I need to go bring something to my kid. Uh, I'm gonna leave at like 2:45. So I got another 30 minutes so we can kind of get started. Somebody else is more than welcome to jump in. I'll come back as soon as I return from doing that, and we can continue. But anyway, let's get started. So let me come here and just share this with you guys. So I'll say anyone with the link is a viewer. I'll copy the link and I'll put it in the chatty chat. Here we go.
In the chat.
What?
Sorry.
I, I missed something.
mm, wish your vodka.
Oh, right. Yes. Thank you, Brandon, for that. Oh my God. That's from like a year ago, that GIF.
Got you.
Okay. We're done with that. So yeah, it's only like 8 slides. However, I do have I've got like all the captures, and I can refer to that if we need to. But let me go to projects, Blender Trainer. Yeah, so here are all of the, the screenshots, screen grabs that I got for, baking the texture, applying a second texture, reference models, so on and so forth. So I've got all the content here. I just haven't assembled it into the slide deck, but I can always hop in here and pull anything up if I need to. So let's begin. All right, so we're pretty much here. I've already gone through and done this other stuff. I got the base model. I unparented it from the skeleton.
Can you show me how to do that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. So I'm going to import a
So
model.
here's the actual link in the slide deck to the
Yeah, let me do that.
wearable models. So it's under wearable resources, so I'll just go there.
Avatar top parent.
Wearable resources. Base avatars. That's not where I wanted to go. See, I need to improve my... Where the fuck?
Upper body.
No, just, I mean, you can certainly do that. Here we go, base mesh. Armature. Here we go. That's not the right one. What the fuck? Base mesh, male and female. That's where I went. Base mesh, male, female, FBX. Okay, that must be it. So just to do that again, the link in the slide deck takes you here. Then you go to base mesh. And then male or female. Now the armature is just going to be the skeleton, right? Oh, and there's a Blender file too. That's nice. Thank you, Shibu. But we don't want that. We want, yeah, this right here. So I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna download it. Maybe. Okay. Select download. Go to my downloads folder. Okay, it's gonna show me in the 3D viewer, which never works.
Shit.
Or rarely works, I should say. Okay, it should be downloaded, so it's going to be in my downloads folder. There it is, and I've downloaded it a bunch of times, so you got the one in parentheses. So, I am going to cut that out. I'm going to go to my 3D objects folder, and the working title I've got for this is Coat of Many Names. And then I'm just going to paste this in here, right? I'm going to rename this to get rid of that one in parentheses. Okay, and no spaces. I noticed in some of the other videos, description videos for creating things for Decentraland, when naming, like their naming convention is don't leave any spaces or special characters in the names of things. There are other plugins for Blender that, like if you name things something logical like material or whatever, there's like a node wrangler for the shader view, and it takes like if you name something, this is my base texture whatever node. I don't know if it uses AI or whatever, but it's a good idea to adopt a naming convention and stick with it. That's what I'm trying to say. A very circuitous way to say that, but anyway, so there's the base mesh. Okay, now I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this. I'm going to minimize this back here. Okay, so we want to select our mesh. Do you want me to import it too, 13?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You go on with what you're doing. I inadvertently through all that answered a bunch of questions.
Okay, cool.
I found a nice little repo in all that, and like there's models for all kinds of T-shirts and such
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
just kind of here. So
Which
uh,
I just want to point out I learned this from Doki actually. When you're weighting vertices, you can take existing models that have already been weighted and you can say, okay, I want you to weight this mesh that I just created. And to figure out how to do that, Blender, I want you to use this mesh as a reference. And it'll do that. It'll like take.
that's dope.
I know, right?
That's
She showed it with like some hair. So she took like an existing hair mesh from the repo, just all the default stuff, and said, okay, this is a lot like the hair that I'm creating right now because it goes past the, over to the shoulders or whatever. So she's like, click on this, click on that, and it was like done. And I think she had to adjust maybe a couple of vertices for weights, but
see.
yeah,
Don't know the questions to ask when you don't
yep,
know their answers to those questions.
yeah, okay. I
I need the import.
You need the import link.
Yes, please.
Okay. I
I'm in
will.
Blender now. I just don't know how to import it, but I do have it
Okay,
in
Okay.
I
my
got
Oh,
you.
okay, okay, okay.
Here.
You've got the base mesh. Okay, got it. Um, all right. So I'll minimize this. Let me just make a new scene. Okay. New general. Don't save. Okay. So I'm gonna hit A to select everything. I'm gonna delete. Okay. I'm gonna hit my 1 key just to give me an orthographic front view when I import it. So I'm gonna come up here to File. Then I'm gonna go to Import. And I'm going to select this, FBX. Now I put all my stuff in the same location. So if I go to my home and then my 3D objects folder, code of many names, and there's the avatars mail base mesh.
Okay, I did hit A and delete, but it doesn't delete everything. And I have to delete this cube in the middle before I can import it, right?
You don't have to. It's just a good idea to clear out everything. What mode are you in? And when I say mode, over here in the upper left-hand corner, there's an object mode and an edit mode.
Object mode.
Okay, all right. Can you share your screen real quick, Cheddar?
Yes.
Yep, totally.
Share your screen
bottom
button.
left. Yep, share your screen,
Right.
and then you can share the application specifically. So
Yeah,
just
just
select
share
your
that.
Blender,
Yeah, that's the easiest way to go about it.
and then in that pop-up window should be like go live.
Blender. Did that work?
Yeah,
It
it's coming through
certainly
right
did.
now. Okay, so maybe don't look at your Discord right now because it'll be major inception. Okay, so close the import window. Just cancel that. Yep. No, you got everything selected. Hit delete.
Click
Interesting.
in that window again on the box.
Now hit
Hit
A.
A.
No.
Just
Don't click on the box. Just yep.
hit A.
A. Now delete.
And then delete.
How about backspace? There you go.
Okay. Yay.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, so now I can go to File, Import, and you said FBX, right?
Yep.
And then Home, 3D Objects, and this thing.
Yay! Yeah, that's it. You
Done.
got it.
No big deal.
We are in the money. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't even know how to move, so I better not.
So, question real quick. What's the difference between that FBX and what I am actually like?
Here, let me call up yours. I mean, it looks like you got the base meshes. It looks correct.
Yeah, there's
Why is this so delayed? Guys, the stream is so late. Oh my gosh.
3D object. It's a GL. So I have the GLB.
That's
Just
fine.
straight GLB. I don't. Yeah, I was just confused. Like, what's the difference between FBX and the fucking GLB? But
It's just
whatever.
it's a file format. I
Yeah.
mean, the GLB
Yeah.
is what you use when you're going to upload a wearable or an emote. FBX is another. Yeah, there's just a bunch of different kinds of file types, and some of them have different layers of complexity. Like some of them you can save, multiple texture maps, shape key animations. So like, if your character is gonna move his arm like this, instead of just a straight up deform, um, based on the angle, uh, you can have what's called an expression. So you can keyframe from one shape to the next and blend through those shapes. Okay, thank you, Brandon, for that. It's super late on mine. I don't know why. Um, but yeah, you can have like your muscle bulge comes out when you're bending your arm or whatever. You can do all sorts of things, and there's different layers of complexity with different file types. It's just that for portability's sake, Decentraland uses GLB, but the FTX, that could be. I mean, these files are like from 2019, 2020. So it could just be a convention that they started using and then they switched over to GLB. I don't know. I'd have to ask Shibu next time I see him. But yeah, that's part of the reason. It should be fine. Let's press on. Okay. Uh, Next thing. Okay, it is a little different. So you see this right here? There's the top head. Oh, and then my Discord crashed.
No armature for that one, or
Hey, I'm back. Can you guys see me again?
I can hear you. I can see you.
Okay. If you go into the
Weird.
the chat, I'm muted. Can you hear
What?
me?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, if you go to the chat for this channel, really far up, like if you, I don't know if you can do a search, but there is the link. Like I think KJ Walker was on here once, and she's like, here is the link for the model that you want, because there is there's a model that has the wrong number of bones, so when you try to import a wearable using that one, it fucks up your wearable.
That's probably the one I got.
I don't It's either the one you've got or it's the one I've got. So where did you get yours?
Yep. I got them uh, in January.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. Sorry to have this digression because I really want to get
Press
this
on.
right. Well, no, I really want to get this right because it will save an awful lot of headache. in the long run. So I'm going to go into here. Let me save this. So I'm going to click Save As, right? And I'm going to call this FAFO 17 because it's not the code concept that we're working on right now. So FAFO 17, Save As. Okay. I'm going to go get like a skeleton for a wearable that I've submitted and I know works.
Fair.
I just have to remember where the hell I put it. Miscellaneous projects. I think this is the one. Whimsy Flower Crown. April 13th. Wow. Shoes. We'll do my Galaxy boots. Okay. So there are the Galaxy boots. Okay. Of course, I think I have no other part of the mesh here to check it out. So I think you've got the right one, 13.
At least for the male. But the one that I've got for the female representation has a piece sticking out of the head.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
So I don't know.
Okay.
That's weird.
Okay. Let's go. See, I wish they had like a brand new thing that says, use this. Here's the thing. They're Alvaro, who is in charge of the Explorer team for Decentraland for Foundation, said that they're working on a new default avatar system where you can have non-bipedal characters and you can have more customization.
Wow.
So
Okay.
anything that they work on, that they do, I'm sure is.
This is interesting.
What's that?
So I'm looking at the two bone structures for the torso, but because the hips, like where the separation is, maybe that's why it's so different.
Right here?
Like,
oh, here, let me.
It is significantly lower on the male representation.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, because the mesh.
So that's probably why the armature or the.
Oh, okay. So
that's probably why it's different.
So here's what we can check is just to look at the where would I find that? There's like some way over here you can look at the number of bones. Well, here, let's hide these. H is your hide key. And then I'm just going to select all of these. And then those are my vertex groups. If I go to pose mode, what I want to see is, oh, bendy bones. That's funny. I want to see like a listing. And I'm guessing it's going to be up here in my, in this scene collection viewer or whatever, the stack, to be able to see how many bones there are. Anyway, I don't want to hunt around for it. I want to keep going. But that's what we would do, and it's the
Nice.
one that has like one fewer or two fewer bones, because there's one with like on the top of the
It's just
head,
fucking weird.
there's another bone that like comes out and like pokes forward like it's a pineal gland sticking out of the person's head. So I think perhaps you have the correct one um, for both of them. But Cheddar, I think until we start parenting it back to the skeleton, I know the mesh is the same. So I'm gonna say let's table this for right now. Let's continue on with the FAFO and creating the top. All right, because what we're gonna do is we're just gonna extract the mesh and chuck the skeleton to the side for right now. How does that sound?
All in favor.
All opposed, remain silent.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I.
Okay. Here we go. So what we want to do is we want to clear the parent for this. So we've done this one. We've imported it. See, that's a GLB. I must have gone to the wrong place. Whatever. I just need to let it go. Okay. So isolate the avatar's top. Left mouse button, that's LMB. Left mouse button, click on the top to select it. Press Alt P, clear and keep transform. But that's after we go to object parent. No, wait a minute. Where the fuck is the... I'm missing a step. Okay. Let's go to object mode. Let's select the top. And then object parent, clear parent and keep transform is what we want. So my apologies. I need to go back and edit my slide deck, but that's what we're going to do. So what I did was when this was selected, it was in edit mode. I switched from edit to object mode. Okay. So I'm now in object mode. Now I'm going to select just the top. Next, I'm going to go to object, parent, and then I want to clear the parent, but keep the transform. So let me just do clear parent. Oh, it's Alt P is the key. Okay, so do you see what happened? Maybe you don't. But here's...
Oh, I found it.
You found it.
Yep.
Okay, can you send that to me in a DM too? Because if you put it in the chatty chat, I'm gonna lose it.
Wait, what?
The link. Is that what you found?
What? No. I
Oh.
found the parent. I found what happened.
Oh, okay, cool.
What happened when I did that?
Okay. So this is what happens when you just clear the parent and you don't keep the transform. It's super huge.
It's good.
So if I undo this and then go back and frame the character up. So what happened is you had somebody model the character and they did it in a much larger scale. And I think like if we were to measure this, here we go, measure. And we go from here up to here. How do I use the measure tool? What the fuck? Left mouse anywhere for a new measure. Drag. Oh, I got a left mouse and measure. Okay, so you see how tall this guy is? He's about 2 meters tall, which is what you want because when you bring it into Decentraland, you want the character to be the correct scale on a 16 meter by 16 meter parcel of land. So when he's parented up onto the skeleton, it's the correct size. But if you clear the parent and you don't keep the transform is where it's moved, so that's translation, the scale, and the rotation. Those are all of the transforms. If you clear the parent and you don't and keep the transforms that it's got, it's going to go back to the original scale it was when the model was created back in 2019, before they scaled it down to be the right size. That's why it blows up and gets really big and gets all fucked up. That has to do with pipeline, right? Production pipeline. When you're setting up a production pipeline, you need to have, just basic standards of like, okay, this is how big a character is going to be, because you don't want one person working really big and another person working medium and another person working really small, because the person who's gets the models from the modeler and has to rig the character has to then spend all that time to scale it down and make sure everything's working. Okay, enough with the bird walk. Okay, back to our slide deck. So no, I wanna do what I was gonna do, which is Alt P, clear parent, and keep transform, right? So what clear parent does is it takes control away from the skeleton and puts it back on the mesh. When you make the mesh a child of a skeleton, what you're saying is, when I grab this skeleton and I go into pose mode and I rotate this, the skeleton is going to control what happens to the mesh, right? If I move the skeleton around, the mesh is going to deform. And that's because it's a child of the skeleton, which is the parent. So if I grab, let me go back into object mode. If I grab this, here, I'll just go into wireframe mode. That'll be easier. Go back, select the skeleton, go back into pose mode. Okay. Then I just want to grab one of the bones. Now I'm going to go back into shaded mode. So if I now hit my R for rotation transform and I hit X to rotate it. Oh, what? Why is that happening? Okay, that's pretty wild. I go back and study that. My understanding was as soon as you clear the parent and keep the transforms, it no longer controls it. But here it's still controlling it. So there's something that I
It
missed.
did break it away from it's its own separate object now,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. Yeah, so it's not
Movement of
parented
it
to the
itself is still
overall.
attached.
Yeah, but it's still attached to the armature itself. It's still attached to a armature. It's just not.
Okay.
Yeah.
The vertices are still weighted to the
Wow.
skeleton.
Yes.
So if I move the skeleton way over here, and
But now
then
you basically can isolate it outside of
mm-hmm.
the other object. It's now its own object. But yes, it is still weighted to the skeleton.
Okay.
That's the fun side of shit. You just do weird things. Good job.
I feel like when you do clear parent and keep transform, that even if it's like weighted to specific like vertice groups, it should still come clear of the bone structure.
Yeah, there's a thing that you do when you like remove it from the bone structure though, and that gets rid of the vertex groups. So whatever.
see.
So forget what I said earlier about all that clearing the
You said
parent.
the
So
transform creation split of the parenting relationship. Do not remove the parenting itself.
apparently,
So let's
It
do
is
this.
45 on the hour, huh? That was the alarm.
yeah. I gotta go. But what you can do, I mean, here's the thing. There's the parent clear and keep transforms. And then the next step is we're going to clear the custom split normals data. So do that, and then do the thing with the collection, and then merge the vertices, because I guarantee you, if we go into edit mode here, zoom in and grab one of these vertices, like down here. There's gonna be some vertices that aren't merged, so you're gonna want to do that too. And then there's the part where you want to convert tries to quads. Looks like it's already been done. Those look like quads right there. Anyway, try to go through the steps in the slide deck, and when I come back, we'll pick up wherever you guys left off.
Okay.
I am running the stream, but I see Sinful is here. Are you?
Yep. If you guys want to keep going, I'll stream. I'll continue to stream.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop the stream on my end. I'll be back in about 20-30 minutes. Okay, Sinful.